A very good afternoon, dear children, and welcome to today's lesson, The Farmer Who Became a Doctor. This lesson is a very interesting one as the the farmer, about whom the lesson revolves around, is a very interesting character. In this story, there is a farmer who actually had a dream to become a doctor. But he used to work hard as a farmer and he always wished that he could become a doctor someday. And it happened one day that suddenly he met a doctor. And the doctor actually wanted to buy all the grass that the farmer had. And in return of that, what did the doctor want to give him? The doctor wanted to give him a cane. What is a cane? A cane is a long walking stick. A cloak, it's a thick coat. Okay? And his book of medicine. Now, this farmer was not that educated. Okay? He thought that by reading this book, he'll become a doctor. The next day, what happened? He wore all the dress, the cloak, taking that stick on his hand and the book. He thought that he had become a doctor. His wife actually broke his illusion, his thought that how can somebody recognize him as a doctor? Because people knew him as a farmer. So how is somebody will be able to recognize him as a doctor? Until and unless he put up a signboard in front of his home. So that was a good idea, the farmer thought. And immediately what he did? He made a big signboard and he made a big mistake, writing that he was a detective and not a doctor. Okay? Now there is a difference between the doctor and the detective. Who is a detective? A detective is a person who solves crime. And who is a doctor? A doctor is a person who treats other people, right? But he was a person who was not that intelligent. Okay, so he did not understand the difference between the two. And instead of writing a doctor, he wrote that he was a detective. Now, the next day, the king's messenger. Now, who is a messenger? A messenger is a person who carries a message, goes from place to place to give a message. So it happened that the king's messenger was passing through that way. And he suddenly saw the board in front of his house that a detective stayed there. He was very happy to see that because in the recent past, the royal horses were lost. What do you mean by royal horses? The king's horses. The king was unable to find two of his horses. So, seeing that the detective stays there, he ran to the king and he said that there lives a detective and we can give the task to him to search the horses. And the king was so happy. The king said, please give the task to him and say that he would be rewarded handsomely. Handsomely means rewarded well. Lots of money and things would be given to him. Okay, fine. The messenger next day went to the detective, the farmer, and he told that if you find the horses, then he would be rewarded handsomely. Okay,